Welcome to your Daily 5 for Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. Not even a week ago, I did a Impressions 5 on Dead Island 2, and if you remember, I was pretty positive about it. I was enjoying the game. Lando and I were both actually enjoying the game. I had a lot of good things to say about it. I thought it was a nice, simple, but very effective return to what made the first Dead Island great, and Lando and I were just having a blast with it. And then, over the weekend, and I'm going to use this word loosely, finished the game. Now, we're both going to have a lot to say about this on the Friday show, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Lando all but told me when we were finishing the game, we're going to have to talk about this on the show. So we will be getting into the details and spoilers on Friday, because there's no way I could cover it all, even if I sped through it in 5 minutes. There's so much to say about it. But and to keep it spoiler-free, just for anybody, in short, I went from, and I just recorded a late night with Andy Last and Marco Merrick, where Marco and I were talking about how much we liked the game. And, within literal hours of that recording, and it's not going to be out for a while because I have a whole bunch of late nights stacked, but with my opinion completely reversed within 4 hours of that recording, which I really didn't expect, and I was really angry about, to be honest, because I really feel like Dead Island 2, for 90 to 95% of the time we played it, was doing really well. It was, again, it was a throwback type of game, simple, yes, repetitive, but with a fun gameplay loop and really good combat mechanics, the kind of game where if you like the first one, you'd like the second one, and it was going really well, and then you get to the end. And the problem is, the game doesn't have an ending. Now, I recorded us finishing this game, so that video will eventually be out probably, I'm going to say a month from now or so, because the first one is just posting, I think, this week, part 1. And you will hear me saying to Lando, I don't think the game's over. It can't possibly be over. This can't be the ending. And it was. And it's not an ending. And I think that right there destroyed all the goodwill I had towards the game. Because the thing is, it's one of these games where, and it's not a live service game, it does have expansions coming out, but it's not as if they're trying to make it an eternal game the way Outriders was. They are clearly setting up what is supposed to be a third game. The problem is, there's no guarantee there's going to be a third game. And even when you're setting up a sequel, you still have to finish the game that people are playing. You still have to have people, at least in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong here. Now, don't get me wrong, we weren't necessarily playing this game for the story. Not entirely. The story felt kind of silly and throwaway and not very deep or special, but still, there was a story, and then they unload a ton of exposition and story details in literally the last 5 to 10 minutes of the game in such a rapid-fire fashion. I was having trouble keeping up with it and knowing what was going on, and from what I've read, others have had the same problem, and then it just stops. It doesn't end, it just stops. And honestly, I really had this, I didn't even kind of reckon with what was going on inside of my head. And then a few hours later, I kind of thought about it and I went, you know what? That was an insult. And at that point, because there's still side missions and stuff we could do, I just went ahead and erased the game from my hard drive. I was like, no, that's it. There's no point in playing this game anymore because it has rendered itself pointless. And I really hate saying that, because up until that point, there was a lot of things about the game that we, seriously, I'm not kidding, we really loved. We were having a blast with it. And then it just really shot itself in the face. I don't know how else to put it. It was such a rapid, sudden, and disappointing reversal of the fun time we were having that it made me uninterested, and I don't even think I would play a third game. If a third game came out, I don't know that I want to play it, because I don't want to reward this type of storytelling. I think it's really terrible. It reminds me of what happened with Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Now, even that game had more of an ending than this one did. At least Mankind Divided attempted to resolve some things, and then left a dangling hook that we may never see resolved. I know people say it'll never have a third game. I'm sure it will have a third game, but whether it's going to get back into this storyline that Mankind Divided did, I don't know. And Dead Island 3 could be the same thing. This game was in development for 7, 8, 9 years. In 7, 8, 9 years, if another one is made, will it even resume this story, or will it be something new, a reboot? And honestly, it just really irritates me, because this is the worst type of ending for a game. And that is when a game is you're having a good time, you get to the end, and you find out, oh, guess what? No ending at all later.